Welcome to day 30 of the course in Mastery, and congratulations, you are about to finish the course. Today is our final day of our 30-day journey together. I hope you've created some new success-driven thought patterns and a better awareness of balance in your life. Today, Tom Wood is going to address the lifestyle of servant leadership, and then Dr. Dennis Waitley tells how you can apply it to the core of your life. Here's Tom.
Thank you, Coral. And thank you for being with us for the last 30 days. It is a rare, unique person that commits to improve themselves on a daily basis. Gyms are filled with the ghosts of members that never show up. Libraries have tried to issue library cards to everybody, but only 3% have actually gotten one. Sporting events worldwide are much more popular than educational events worldwide. While the masses ignore their future, you have shown a commitment to your education and betterment, a sign of high self-esteem, courage, and integrity. You are the kind of leader this world truly needs. My final story will hopefully encourage you to take that leadership you developed and serve the people. My wish is that you become a servant leader. Years back, there was a young man who grew up with his family in a small community. He had a normal job and a normal life. The problem was the leaders of his community were incredibly selfish. They felt that it was the purpose of the people to serve the leaders. He felt quite differently. He felt it was the purpose of the leaders to serve the people. The leaders of these communities would use armies, religion, politics, whatever they could to convince the people that it was their job to serve them. That got this guy angry. But instead of fighting the leaders, he became the kind of leader he wanted to see. He started small with a new venture. He went house to house, holding meetings, talking to people about his new philosophy and his new ideas. He was accepted wildly because he built rapport and trust with people. He listened to them. And then once he had their attention, he started giving them ideas that would make their life better. He had a unique financial strategy, especially for these times where profit was king. He took all of the profits of his venture and poured it back into this venture, taking nothing for himself. So he walked somewhat poor while he helped other people build their lives. This was pretty unique. But what it did was it gave him a reputation, and people from other communities asked him to come and speak to their communities. This was the beginning of him getting the word out, and he did this very well. Now, unlike other business people or politicians of the day, he openly shared his secrets for success. He went from community to community telling people how to be successful. And he also encouraged other people to take his ideas and spread them to other parts of the world. This was truly different for his time. Now, it's unfortunate that this man died at a young age before he was able to do way more than he had already done. But what he did was so powerful, and his leadership was so servant-based that his ideas lasted long, long, long after he passed away. I'm sure you might have figured it out by now. But this businessman, this politician, was Jesus. Now, I don't care if you're religious or not. I don't care if you're political or not. It doesn't matter. If you look at the life of this man, he was truly a servant leader. Just like others after him. Mahatma Gandhi. This could have been his story as well. Mother Teresa, truly a servant leader. There are many people in our communities that don't have the spotlight, that are true servant leaders. They feel that their leadership ability is to serve others. These are the leaders that create long-lasting impact in the world today. My wish for you is that you become incredibly successful and outrageously happy. And when you do, you use that to serve other people and help them get that way. It's our mission here at Mastery TV to positively impact 1 billion people in the next 5 years. Because of the internet, because of our technology, because of the experts on Mastery TV, and because of the team that has built this company and this network, I believe we can do it. However, we need you. If you got anything out of this program, if you enjoyed even a little bit, I'm going to ask you just to share it with some people. Tell people your story and let them know that you're there to help them. I know that together we can make a huge difference in the world. thanks again for watching Mastery TV. I hope to see you at one of our events very soon. Bye for now.
Dr. Dennis Waitley, one of the most respected experts on high-performance human achievement, who has counseled winners in a variety of fields, is back to bring the concept of servant leadership to the very core of who you are. In this clip, he takes the idea of servant leadership to your children. He explains that you can serve them best by giving them two very precious gifts. I hope you enjoy one of our all-time favorite clips.
The lives of youth are a reflection of adult values. Take a moment to listen today to what your children are trying to say. Listen today, whatever you do, or they won't be there to listen to you. Praise their smallest triumphs. Praise their smallest deeds. Amplify their laughter. Tolerate their chatter. Find out what they're after. Find out what's the matter, but tell them that you love them every single night. And though you scold them, make sure you hold them after. And tell them they're all right. If we tell our children all the bad in them we see, they'll grow up exactly how we hope they'd never be. But if we tell our children that their riches are within, they'll dig gold out of their minds and find a way to win, because children learn what they live, and children live what they learn. I've been probably making every mistake that a father could make. We have 7 children, so to speak. 4 by birth, 2 by marriage, 1 by immigration and adoption. And I trained mine the old-fashioned way, fear. The baby buyer's coming by and I don't need much money. You keep doing what you're doing, you'll be on the truck. Looked at my 9-year-old son and said, when I was your age, I was 14. Used to walk to school on hot coals. Had to ride a horse to school. They said, a lot better than a bus. Well, if I could live my life again, and I can't, at least in the mortal sense, I wouldn't give my children money and all those store-bought things. I wouldn't give them loot and things. I'd simply give them roots and wings. Roots of core values and wings of self-determination. Wings to fly. And I'd like to share with you the 2 most precious gifts that parents can give to their children. Roots, core value, self-awareness. Self-awareness that their potential is greater than they'll ever dream. That there's more that they could do in this world than they ever imagined possible. Self-esteem, the non-material internalization of spiritual value. Value at the core. You can't buy self-esteem. It's there, in the clay. All it has to do is be cut and polished. The deep down, inside the soul feeling of your own worth. Given my parents and my background, I'm glad I'm me. I'm not the best looking in the group. I just look my best in the group. And I may be 66, but there's a lot of life left in the old road warrior. Self-esteem, intrinsic value at the core. Self-honesty. We need that more than ever in this country. We need people who 24 hours a day, 7 days a week walk their talk. We need to teach children by our example about self-honesty. Self-determination. A lot of people are self-determinists, but I'm like you. Life is a do it with God, for others, to myself project. And I take a lot of the blame for my life, and I'd like to share the credit for it. But one thing I do know is we each have choices. We don't take chances, we make choices. And you live with the logical consequence or reward of your choice. What children need more than anything on this earth is personal responsibility and thinking before they decide to choose, to be able to live with the consequence or reward of that choice. Self-determination leads to self-discipline. A lot of people think self-discipline is doing without. No, it isn't. Self-discipline is doing within while you are without. And if you'll do within when you're without, you'll never have to do without very long. Because if you've been there in the mind, you can go there in the body. But if you haven't been there in the mind and you go there in the body, you'll feel uncomfortable. You won't be able to stay there unless you have the discipline to do it over and over again. Those are the roots of core value, the roots of self-determination, the roots to grow on that every child needs to hang on to for a lifetime. I've made mistakes. I look in the mirror and say, how would I like a father like me if I were my kids? Where are you today, Dad? Where are you traveling today, Dad? How are the audiences today, Dad? We're going to grow up just like you, Dad. Oh, boy. The cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon. And we're going to grow up just like you, Dad. Wings. Wings to fly. You know what parents do too often? They clip the wings of their children. They give their children everything they didn't have, everything the children didn't need, everything they didn't earn. And they want their children not to wait in line, not to have to wait or do anything for themselves, because that way they'll be privileged. Unfortunately, what you create is a pen full of turkeys. A pen full of turkeys whose wings are not strong. There's no wind beneath them. They haven't been able to test their wings. They've had things done for them. And you can spot those families of indulged children. Wings of desire. When we adopted Graciela Gonzalez from Mexico, many of you know the story. She came into our family as an exchange student. And she was born in a dirt hut in El Chante, Mexico. And they didn't have any money, and she came into our home, and it looked like Disney World. Can you imagine what it would be like to be an immigrant from Mexico, from a dirt hut with broken teeth and self-esteem that was only based on desire, and to walk into a home where people had everything, where you could buy cars and go skiing, and kids had all these privileges? Well, I'll tell you, she had so little going in that she was motivated to take everything out and forward. Motivation is an inner force that compels behavior. It isn't in the perks and the trips, which are nice. Those trips are nice, but it's the core, the motivation, the inner fire. And every child needs desire instead of fear. A self-image is like self-esteem, but self-esteem is a general feeling of worthiness. Self-image is when you can imagine yourself to be different. Did you know that in addition to your God-given spiritual connection, your deep spiritual core, that the differentiation between human beings and every other living creation is the imagination? A dog is a dog is a dog. A human is a wimp, or a great person, or a tyrant. Can be anything. Only humans have the power of God-given imagination. What every child needs is an imagination, not on MTV, not of violence, not of 1% of the population who do everything wrong in sitcoms, not Beavis and Butthead. Oh no, not Married with Children, not shows that show the worst of humankind, but imagination that shows the best of what we could do, and to have that be entertaining. Wouldn't it be wonderful if Hollywood could do something that was socially redeeming instead of just making money? Yes, it would. And so we will, you and me, be more creative, and we'll show how to do that, we hope. Self-direction. The imagination is one thing. But one thing you know, that unless it's tied to a deadline or some specific dream, it has no focus. A lot of people love the spotlight. A lot of people spend all their time going to meetings with the searchlight. A lot of people want to be in the limelight. But the best thing to do is to have laser focus, because laser takes all the light and focuses it in an area that brings it through to the top. Laser focus, self-direction. If you don't know where you're going, any old road will take you there. And if you don't know what you're going to do today, it doesn't make any difference whether the alarm goes off. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for absolutely anything. And that's why people in network marketing, many times, use the school of fish approach. They go to this, and then that, and that looks good. It's like Mr. Toad and Alice in Wonderland. Cheshire Cat, could you tell me, please, which way I should go from here? Well, it really doesn't matter. It depends on where you want to go. Well, I really don't care that much. Then any old road will take you there. And so you and I need to have self-direction and teach our children how to set delayed gratification goals that are just out of reach, but not out of sight. Things that are in close. Self-expectation, the most powerful use of faith of all, is that you won't get what you want in life, you'll get what you expect in the long run. You can take your choice: voodoo, pessimism, or faith, optimism. Things you believe in that are not proven fundamentally always. You can't see them, but you believe them anyway, and no one can change your belief. Expectation should always be optimism. And finally, dimension, looking beyond yourself for meaning, working as a team, and certainly the perspective of other people, diversity, race, gender, ethnicity, religion, accommodating other people's beliefs as a dimensional, total human being.
It's been my pleasure taking this journey with you, and I hope you've learned as much as I have, and keep with your commitment to better your life on a daily basis. I look forward to potentially meeting you at one of our future events, and hope you have a fabulous day.